2 days ago or something, I said something about how FGC articles in general, I feel like don't usually hit what I want. Most of the coverage for our articles are like opinion pieces about the community, right? And it's usually stuff in the community that I already know about because I follow the community closely, obviously. Tournament results, or it's like this rivalry you'll never believe, Sonic Fox versus Goichi, right? And I'm like, okay, well, there's not much I'm going to read that like, really is going to stick with me very much, right? Because those articles aren't written for me. They're not written for people who are like super in deep in the community, I think, and aware of what's going on, right? It's just not, it's not for me. The article written, Ken and Ryu are secretly in love with each other that Kotaku put out. I'm like, you know what? If they're in love with each other, that's sick. Like, finally, I fucking knew it. But it's, it's not the kind of article I'm looking for. So lately I've been talking a lot about a lot of old Magic articles, the psychographical profiles of players, and just like some really fun, interesting stuff. So then I was like, you know what? Let me give fighting game articles a fair rub. So let's see the GOAT fighting game articles so that we can just like read some of the classics. There's two big like series that are good, like people really think about, right? One is the Footsies Handbook on Sonic Hurricane, and the other is Domination 101. So I asked about it, right? You see the first comment was not a fighting game article, but this is one of my favorite MTG articles. I haven't read this article, so I'm going to check it out. I was like, cool. Domination 101, Footsie's Handbook. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground. And by covered a lot of ground, I mean we got a Magic the Gathering article, which I'm going to check out. And then we got the two articles that I was like, they'll definitely be there. Then we got how to approach a woman who is holding down back when she has both the fireball and an invincible flash kick. I don't think this is actually a full article, right? It's just the image. This is a Smash improvement thing that I've read before as well. This is Domination 101, a KOF one that I've not heard of, video. Man too good at fighting games to play, like enjoy playing with his friends. A video. Article that Obama wrote, Footsie's Handbook, Domination 101, Playing to Win. That's the Serlin article, right? A lot of the stuff on here that was recommended is kind of stuff that I've seen. Your favorite article is the Chess 2 manual. This is a classic. So a lot of people brought this one up. It's an interesting set of examples of strategies that to this day, a lot of people will still tell you and talk about and stuff. Maybe not in the same kinds of way, and maybe we've gotten better at explaining it and stuff, but yeah, this is a classic. SonicHurricane.com. It starts by describing what Footsies is. It says, Footsies is the old school slang for the mid-range ground-based aspect of fighting game strategy. It's old school, eh? We don't use it anymore. The ultimate goal is to control the flow of the match, bait the opponent into committing errors, and punish everything. You don't have to use it, but you have to be aware it exists. Think of it like one of those chess books showing common situations and how to solve them. If you absorb enough of these pieces, suddenly you'll have a solid game plan. And it's like over 30 like examples that they're going to give you. It's quite an old series of examples, and a lot of the stuff in here is going to be classic footage, but you can get a great idea about what it's getting at. So the first chapter, element 1, 2, and 3. It says a lot of people make the mistake assuming that Footsies is something that you can whip up on the fly. And while you can do it that way, and freestyling is a great and valuable skill, and you often do freestyle, you can go in with a plan. One thing that's important about learning in general is a lot of the times you can't blame people for not knowing things because they don't even know that they're supposed to know them, or they don't even know that they don't know them, right? So there's a lot going on here. The first one is going to seem so simple too. This is one of the ones that when I give people examples of whiff punishes on stream and I talk about, yeah, that's like a classic whiff punish, or that's like textbook or whatever, right? It's always this first example. Momentarily step into your opponent's poke range and quickly back out instead of attacking. Walk into your opponent's effective range where they always hit crouching medium kick and then walk away. All you do is put yourself in the position where your opponent's best normal, or the thing they want to do the most, feels like the perfect option because you're in the perfect range for it. And then you just leave that range. I like this example. It's kind of non-traditional because in a game like Hyper Fighting, when you walk into Ken's range as Guile, he thinks you're going to crouching medium kick, so he uppercuts. And then when he starts uppercutting, you just bait the uppercut and punish it, right? It's not like, in Street Fighter 5, if Guile walks into his crouching medium kick range, right, Ken's not going to uppercut. He's going to do something else, but it's the same kind of idea. So, there's a couple of booms, and then notice the first boom where he walks forward. That's where we get this situation. Walk into the range, stop and wait, no button, punish, right? And that back fist is guaranteed there. Flash kick as an anti-air, throw the boom, walk into the range, do nothing, punish, right? Walk into the range, do nothing, punish. All he's doing is walking into the range where he would normally attack with his normal, or like the best range for his opponent to do something, and then not committing to anything. Now watch in the second round how he adjusts what he's doing after walk up boom. Put yourself in your opponent's best range, right? He walks up and sweeps him. baits the uppercut. Now if you're the Ken player, oh, anti-air sweep too. See how that time he didn't uppercut, and instead Watson crouching medium kicks him? He just whiffs the jab, and then he crouching medium kicks him. Crouching medium kicks him again. Tries a crouching medium kick again. Walk up, this time sweep. Like, Hyper Fighting Kyle is an absurd character, and his crouching medium kick's wild. But, you know, that's all there is to it. It's one of the most simple ideas, right? Walk into your opponent's range. Let them, you know, think you're going to do something, or let them commit to whatever option feels like they're going to beat you, right? Whether it's sticking out a normal, throwing a fireball, whatever it is, and then punish them for it. So determine, this is element 2, determine which of your combos and attack strings position your opponents barely outside their effective reversal range. One of the best ways to trick someone into wasting meter and handing you the match is by making yourself appeal falsely vulnerable. So this is the end of Battle by the Bay, a tournament who, you know, if you guys don't know about Battle by the Bay, you probably watch it every year anyway. The empty jump super. Throw the fireball, he activates afterwards. Bang. Letting him think like, okay, this is an okay range to, you know, activate. I'm gonna be fine in this situation. Just fucking uppercut his ass. It's like, yeah, what do you think's gonna happen here? Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this example, but I think it was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm with you, Info. I don't think it necessarily shows something about footsies. Right here, I like a lot. What you've established is a pattern of poking consistently at a certain range. Use your opponent's hesitation to walk up and throw them. It's always dangerous to wander into enemy attack space, so wait until you're certain you've trained them to think twice about hitting buttons. So this is a great example of like using your rhythm on the ground and using your like strong normals to set up stuff like walking into your opponent's range, to set up walking up and throw them, to, you know, that kind of stuff is very important, and you have to establish it by really setting them up quite a few times beforehand. You can't hit them with 2 buttons and be like, all right, it's time to walk up. It's gonna take time, right? So check out this first round and just like watch the way this is set up, right? And also, if you're like me, watch this and think, damn, I would definitely play CVS2 soccer. What a boring character. There's like one thing. He's going to walk up and heavy kick. This is a lot of the game plan, right? So just walk up, walk up, heavy kick, and anti-airs all day, right? Like these are the things you're going to see over and over and over and over in this match. And it really sets up the rest of the ground game. Heavy kick, heavy kick. He's just hammering away, right? And walk up throw. After he's landing right there. He doesn't want to hit a button because he's falling from a jump. He doesn't know if he's safe or not. Just hammering him with the heavy kicks, right? Anti-air. Those add up, dude. It hurts, man. You get hit by stuff like that over and over. Hammering away with the heavy kicks. Walk up throw. That's clean. That entire round was like anti-airing, blocking jump angles where he's not sure if the anti-air is going to work. Standing heavy kick. And as soon as he established like, hey, I'm shutting you down on the ground, you can't get away with any of this anymore, then walk up throw. The last one I think is good, worth looking at too, right? Just like the walk back. He gives him time too in this situation. I think that's important on the ground too. He kind of walks in, he walks back, he thinks about it. He's like, oh, you're not going to hit a button, walk up throw. This is something that's very common. A lot of times when people jump, right, and they whiff a button, you can like check them on the ground by hitting something, right? And either punish the landing frames or whatever they're doing, or at least force them to block because they have the recovery of landing out of the air. But I like walking up and throwing as an option too, right? You know they're going to block because they're like, oh, I did a jump attack. My jump attack whiffed. I'm going to respect his button after. It's a well-played round, right? Anyway, that's element 3. Element 99. Hide behind the table.
Nuki, stop, slow forward. Nuki is using the table.
Hide behind the table. Why? Why was there a foreground element in a fighting game, huh? Hiding behind the table is the strat, man. That right there is 99. Element 99. Anyway, that's chapter 1, right? So what we just went through, those 3 examples, the text and the 3 videos, that's element 1. Or chapter 1. And it goes all the way to chapter 10. So this article is chock full of great stuff. There's two that I wanted to look at that you see a lot in modern fighting games that I think is quite important. This one right here is pretty funny to me. Element 17. One of the dirtiest tricks I've ever seen was Daigo's ST Ryu knocking down Jason Cole's Dalsum, crossing him up with a block jump heavy kick, then walking back for half an eternity before nailing him with crouching medium kick into Hadouken. Crouching medium kick fireball to beat someone trying to break a throw. You know, when people say stuff like, oh, it's just throw or strike, like you just bait the throw, take the throw. Like, you know, people talk about that kind of stuff. It's the sweep knockdown here, jump heavy kick, walk back, bait the throw. Everybody's like, oh my God, that throw bait. Ugh, just throw or not throw, 50% die, bad game. And he got dizzy, died in one hit, game sucks. I like how he called it half an eternity in this, like said half an eternity wait. There's just that little walk back. It really does feel like it was the exact amount of time as like a Street Fighter 5 shimmy, to be honest. You know how it is, chat. Give it a minute. Make some noise. Grass goes burr, yeah, essentially. Anyway, Element 34, written way back in the day. Element 34, is anything less effective on paper than wake up crouching jab? That's why it wreaks havoc on cautious players' plans. Used sparingly, of course. What? Wake up jab. Only scrubby Street Fighter 5 players mash jab. Only bad Street Fighter 5 players who've never played another fighting game in their life wake up jab. Oh wait, ain't no thing. Sometimes you gotta wake up jab. Here's a Street Fighter 5 player sent back in time. You know when people, like somebody wakes up jab and they're like, oh, it's Street Fighter 5. I just assume that they're a moron who has nothing constructive to say about the situation. Instead of like actually thinking like, why did the wake up jab hit in that situation? They just say that as a phrase. Anyway, this is an interesting article and I think you would really enjoy reading through it. There is a lot of old examples in it, but I think it's worth taking a peek. Nowadays, there's a lot of ways to like, you can ask somebody a lot of these questions and they can kind of explain it to you, but it's a really nice resource, I think.
Listen.
And you've also never played an anime game, because if you think motherfuckers mash in Street Fighter, shit is hitting different. If you think Street Fighter players can even mash close to the level that anime players can, I don't know what to tell you. 5LLL, bro, I'm a Bardock player. I love that character.